We are on 12th section, third.
6. 8.12.6. Page 264. Page 264.
Oh. 6 is finished.
No, you could do 0.26. Page 264, second paragraph.
This where I made a mistake. Okay. Okay. So in the sixth we are supposed to. We are going on now. So sixth shloka. What we have is Bhagavan said here. I'm just maybe repeating. We have already. Tam va etam deva atmanupasate tasmat tesham sarve cha loka atah sarve cha kamaha sarvamsha lokan apnoti sarvamsha kamanyastas atmanam anudhyam vijanaditi prajapatiruvacha. This was the shloka. Prajapati so said, what? Tam vayetam deva. A man who has realized the inner self, he is respected by the devas. Atman upasate tasman loka sarve cha loka attaha sarve cha kamas. Sarve cha loka, that means in all lokas he is respected. That is why a Maharishi or Tapasvi, a great jnani, even devatas listen to him. At least listen. Because he will not speak anything that is individual. These are very high principles. We should remember that what we are talking now in these chapters, of course few days before onwards, they all cannot be understood. They all have to be perceived. If you try to understand it, there will not be any meaning to it, because it's not visible, as Devendra said, or Prajapati said. It is seen in the eyes. Seen. Bhagavan gives a lot of importance to seen. We also, in our normal languages, have you noticed that many things we say, have you seen that wind? Have you seen that, fire? Okay, fire we can see. Like that, which are not to be seen through the eye. See how beautiful the song is. See how beautiful the song is. No? See how good it is. See how tasty. See how tasty. You know, that's what I'm trying to collect words. The seeing. These are all seeing in the eyes. That means all indriyas perceived into one is called seeing. Seeing is very powerful. Seeing is Surya, you know. That is, seeing is vision. He is not talking about the seeing of the eyes of the material eyes. A dead man also has got eyes, ears, nose, tongue, everything. Can these indriyas feel anything? No. He has eyes, he cannot see. He cannot see. He has got the eyes, instrument is there, but he cannot see. He has got ears. Oh, nice song, let the dead body enjoy it while before going. Nothing happens, no? What is that? The seeing. The seer is always there. It is not that seer is not there. The seer is there. The instrument is not seeing it, but the vision is there. The seer is always there. Seer is always there means even when the indriyas are not there, as I said, see the song, see the taste, see this thing. The vision is always there. That vision is the one which is got in the Atma. Is what Prajapati meant when he said that which is seen in the eyes. You know, when everything is perceived in, it is not identified as indriya separately. It's only the seeing. Even in the loka where the sharira is not there, the seeing is happening is the interpretation. But this will not be understood by the normal. That's what I said. If you try to understand this, it will never end. You can never understand this. Even when the sharira is not there, the seeing is going on. The Atma sees that, you know. But what happens in that seeing and this seeing, in the material seeing and the vision, there are different things, two different things. One is with the desire, an objective projection in the eyes. Through the mana, intellect, it is interpreted, and objective seeing is one seeing. The other seeing is that it is subjective seeing. In subjective seeing, the eyes we are not able to see. That's why we say that look into you. We say, see inside you. No, there are so many languages. It's okay, forget about language. See inside you. Antarayamam. That means look at inside. Look at inside of you. Where is that? How to look at inside of you? Can this eye has got any capacity to look inside you? No. What does it mean then? That means that looking is there. If looking is there, the eyes are there. The seer is there. The seer can see the inside. When the external is restricted, then the internal can be seen. When the external is restricted, with the eyes open, one doesn't sleep. The sleep in the sense, sushupta avastha, not the normal sleep. Some people half eye open, they sleep. The eyelid doesn't close completely, no. So we will feel that, no, this fellow is still seeing, so better don't talk here. It's not that. Now that's what I mean. The sushupta avastha. In sushupta avastha, one doesn't see. But in sushupta avastha, one has the vision. The seer is there, persisting there. This is what I said, don't try to understand it. The jnani sees. Why did I say that? In the state of Jeevan mukta, in the state of Jeevan mukta, what sees is that he is He is not seeing the external universe as it is.
Okay, thank
Even though he has the status of the Sharira, even though he has status of mind, even though he has everything, but his seeing, as I told you that, by looking at a person, you will not be in a position to identify he is a Jeevan Mukta or not. Whereas if somebody is there external, if somebody is looking there, you can look at him and see in which direction is he looking, is it not? But as far as Jeevan Mukta is concerned, you will misinterpret that. He may be looking there, but he is not seeing that what you are seeing. Because his indriyas or all the indriyas have been into one. How they can bring all indriyas into one? Either one is the status of the death, then all indriyas become one. Or before death, the body consciousness has to go away. So this is the state of, that's why the Jeevan Mukta has been given a lot of importance here. Explanation of Jeevan Mukta. Who is in Brahmaloka? After the Brahmacharyatva, a strict Brahmacharyatva, a Brahmajnani or a Brahmasatchatkari keeps his vision. Whether the Sharira is not there or not is not very important to him. Sharira, he might use it because it is according to the instructions of the Lord that he is supposed to execute certain karmas for the upliftment of the others, so it can be there. He is always in the status of the Brahmasatchatkari. In a Brahmasatchatkari, these indriyas function, even though the indriyas are not there. We may see exactly the activities that is being done by him. Looks exactly like we are, as we talk, as we discuss, as we are ignorant about certain things. He will also show certain ignorance. He will also fall ill. His sharira also will fall ill. Most of the rishis you will find, they have fallen ill. There are a lot of most of the activities that a normal person is conducting is being also conducted by a Jeevan Mukta. A Jeevan Mukta is a Brahmasatchatkari. The one who has got mukti from the Jiva, from the Jivatma. That is why in our Shastras we have a Chinmudra. In Chinmudra, what happens? This is Ahankara, or the Aham, the you. The Aham, so Ahankara means Aham. Aham is Jivatma. This represents Jivatma. Only Jivatma can point out, do this, like that, Jivatma. This is represented by Jivatma. All fingers have got different. This is a Jivatma. This being an apart from even though one with them, for everyone it is needed, this is needed. He doesn't need anyone. Such a one is known as the Paramatma. When the Jivatma is associated with the Paramatma, is called as a Chinmudra when others are away. In the status of Chinmudra, what happens? This is complete. The circle is complete. This is complete, this is incomplete. So, the Jivatma when joins with the consciousness, that means the Jivatma, even though it is there, when it attains the consciousness of the Paramatma, what happens? It brings the completeness. What is completeness? Completeness is that? Is absolute consciousness, that absolute state. Where is the Jivatma gone? In the Paramatma. It's a part of Paramatma. Can it be identified in the Paramatma after Layam? It cannot be identified. Why? Purnata has been attained. From the Purnata, Apurnata is not known. This Purnata has to be attained. That's the principle of this. Why they said that? So, the gods adore him, adore the self, is it. Therefore, all the worlds, all desirable things have been attained by them. The attainment is not a physical activity here. Attained by them is only as a translation that has been done. There is no other way to express it. When the whole world is been attained by, when the whole world is in him, the attainment doesn't take place because he is in that status. When he is in that status, he need not to attain anything. No. When we are there, we don't need anything. No. So that is why Prajapati said, all the desires that used to be there in the Jivatma and all that what is there in the Paramatma is seen, reflected in the eye, and that status is always there in the Jagrata Avastha, Swapna Avastha and the Sushupta Avastha. That presence of that is never absent. The presence is always there, it is never absent. The eye can see, we have learned this earlier also in these Upanishads. The eye is seeing because the power of the seeing in the eye is the one what makes the eye see. The power in the eardrum or the brain is the one which makes one hear through the instrument ear. It is not the ear that is hearing, it is the power in the ear that is hearing. If somebody who has got a ear, he need not hear. Not necessarily he has to hear. But the power in the eardrum, what we call as a nervous system which is connected into that, which transmits these vibrations into there. Now this activity to go on, there has to be a power in that. Unless that power is there, the eardrum is a waste. Speaker is there. If you do not play the music, switch on the electricity, connect the speaker to the music system, then it speaks out. But what happens for us? The speaker is important, is it not? Everybody in order to listen to the music, you will look at the speaker, not at the music system. Not at that. There has to be power. Neither the music system nor the speaker is the truth. I mean, both of them can function only when that power is there. That power is invisible, these are visible. These are objective visibility. So through objective visibility, we think that it's the object that creating the sound. It is neither this object nor the creator of that sound is the one which is making the sound. The one which is not seen but is present is the one which making you listen to that. When that makes a sound, is a Shakti. Listening also is by a Shakti. So neither something. So what happens? The dilution of these objective principles, the dilution of the externalities takes place. When the dilution of externalities takes place, then the internality is projected. When you realize these are not the externalities that is making me listen, I, as an inherent character of the Atma, I myself is able to produce that as well as hear that. Who is singing? I am singing and I am listening. There is no other person or other instrument which is singing and which is hearing. It is me who is singing and me who is listening. Because, well, I said that me who is singing and me who is listening, there is no such a karma is taking place. He is the song, he is the singing, he is the listening. That is why ahameva sarvasvam, he said. Shivo aham. That's it. Ahameva Shiva. Why? The one who is in that is the principle. So this cannot be understood. This has to be perceived. He is called the true Brahmacharya. We may call it as a self-control, self-realization. All those words are superlatives. It is not at all. Absolutely, it is not at all meaning the true sense of the Atma Sakshatkaram, Brahma Sakshatkaram, even in a close range. The realizer of the self is not there because the realizer gets vanished when the self is realized. If the realizer is still existing but in disguise. Who is the realizer? The one who is in the realizer is the realizer. The one who is in the realization is a realizer. That realization is known as realizer. That one who is in the realize is known as realizer. That one who is in the realized is known as realizer. Who is a realizer? Separate realizer. In whichever status you go, it's a realizer. Like wherever you go. No? We used to cycle in the moonlit night sometimes, no? When there is full moon. So what happens when you cycle? Moon also goes with you. You go and see that it's coming with you. Wherever you go, he is following you. He sees. No? Wherever you go, he is there. You see? There is no place which is not there. It is not there. It is always there. No? These are all the principles. So this is why Bhagavan said about the discipline, Brahmacharyatvam. So he has undergone that Brahmacharyatvam. In the Brahmacharyatvam, lot of this is not that Indra was sitting there and then just eating and drinking and sleeping. He is undergoing the severe penance. For Indra, it was only 101 years. 32, and 5. No? But it may for Indra, it took 101 years in order to get this jnanam from the Prajapati. But the one who is not in the status of Devendra is a tapasvi. Devendra is a tapasvi. The one who is not in the status of Devendra, you can imagine how many years it should take, or how much of, it's not the question of time according to our measure of time, the intensity of it, that's, yes. Now Swami Vivekananda has expressed about the concentration is one of the part of it. You are totally involved in it. You're not anywhere. That is your Shakti. He has told about 3 Shaktis. One is about the concentration, then decision making and selflessness. These are the 3 major things which makes a person absolutely pure. Sometimes we also put our fingers and then read, so that we don't hear anything. Isolate yourself from the externalities is the principle. If we can do it without closing, putting cotton in the ear and all that, without doing that it is possible, then that is the absolute discipline of it. When you are involved in it, when you are into it, you will not be able to have any contact with the external world. Even though we are in the world, let there be world, let there be anything. But if you really want, you will not be in it. We are practicing it every day. Only thing, it is in a different way, that's all, not for good things. Where you are supposed to be, you will be physically you are available, but mentally we are somewhere else. In the classroom, a student is listening to the teacher intensely. His mind is absolutely somewhere else. His concentration is totally there. See? Whereas if we can arrest that mind here, into the subject, he will be in a position to. This is what is learned from the childhood when the Vedic chantings and things are taking place. That has to be practiced. This discipline has to be practiced, and then comes to the self-control. So anyway, so these are all various things, various disciplines out of just mind comes to. I'm just adding things to that. There may be an additional information. It's good. Then comes, so concentration has to be there. Your intention, when the intention is there, concentration will automatically come. If you have an intention to know, concentration is definitely there. If you have an intention to see something, let it be whatever it is. From any distance, you can see that. Or from any closeness, you can see that. If you have an intention, that means your preparation of mind is very necessary. For that, the samarpana bhava, detachment from the desires of the sharira is absolutely necessary. Who distracts you from your intention? Your desires. Expectations and desires distracts you from your intentions. Simple. Had you not that, then it is not there. Then you are there. You are here. That's why they say present, present, present. In the class also, when they call for the roll calls, present, sir, we used to say old days, no. Only in the word present is there, that fellow is not at all present. See, the principle is that be present here, is that principle. So the disciple has to say, yes sir, I am present here. But here the physical presence is calculated, whereas the mental presence is necessary. The presence of mind, they said, when you are there, is the presence of mind. Presence of mind, oh look at his presence of mind. It's not a supernatural quality that he has got supernatural presence from somewhere else. He was there. His presence was there where he was. It's called presence of mind. Where he was, the mind also was there. Where he is not, the mind is there. Is not a presence. Or where mind is there, he is not there. Is not the present again. Both mind and body together, present, is a presence. So the presence is that. So one is that concentration, he said. And what did I say? Second is that about the
selflessness.
Decision making, is that. Each and every second we should be making decisions. It's not that. Para aparadha, there is a word called in Upanishads and Shastra. Para aparadha. Para aparadha. Para aparadha. Para aparadha. Para means the other. Aparadha is the mistake. In order to consider the paras, aparadha, we have got time, between, what is the meaning of it actually when you analyze it? Upanishads analyzes it. Para and aparadha. They made it to para aparadha, made it into two, para and aparadha. Between para and aparadha, there is a gap. No? Between para and aparadha, there is a gap. That is the gap. That means, what is that gap? Time for you to make a decision. After the para, if you make a decision, the aparadha can be excused, aparadha can be multiplied. Para aparadha. Rigveda has explained about para aparadha extensively. How the Raja, that's why Bhishma and Yudhishthira, after the end of the war, Bhagavan said to go and listen to him about the Tattva Shastras and Brahmacharya, because he is a highly knowledgeable person about the Shastras, They said that he is more or less equivalent, not more or less, he is equivalent to Veda Vyasa, more than that rather. Veda Vyasa has put it into practice, Bhishma did not put it into practice, it's only the difference. But it's a great jnani. So what happened? At the end of the war, Veda Vyasa appears, Veda Vyasa happens to be the father. Veda Vyasa appears and told Yudhishthira, you go and listen to Bhishma, Pitamaha, about the Shastras and Rajaniti. There is no other person who can explain you like that. Either it is Krishna or it has to be Bhishma. So Bhagavan said, it is better let Bhishma explain about it. So the Bhishma Samvada, Bhishma Yudhishthira Samvada, Dharmaputra Bhishma Samvada is very important in the greater chapters of the Mahabharata, where he describes about the first of all the Rajaniti, what should be the true Raja, and what are the functions of a Chakravarti, functions of a king. Then Atma Sakshatkaram, how one should be in the status of Atma Sakshatkaram, being a king. Now you should remember, first of all, you are an Atma before becoming a king. So you have to attain that. So these explain, that's called, so decision making should be based on, decision making should be based on the dharmic way of living. Dharma. If I do not know the dharma changes, depending upon requirement. For a Raja, certain Raja dharma is different. For a Praja, Praja dharma is different. For a Guru, Guru dharma is different. For a Shishya, Shishya dharma is different. So every dharma has different. There is no hard and, there's, you can, each and every one has got its own dharma. That's one. There is a main dharma. From there, individual dharmas are there. Swadharma, they call it. Swadharma is there. This dharma, so dharmic we have. Suppose a person who is a doctor, he has got dharma very different. Patient has got a different dharma. See, it cannot be same, both of them. Like Guru has a dharma, Shishya has got a different dharma, like that. So a person who is living in the dharmic way of living, with the basic principles of living as ahimsa, he is in a position to be in that gap, para and the aparada. This is a great word in the Upanishad and great word in the Rig Veda, para, aparada. How a decision making is done. This is where in between this is always used by many talkers. You will find para, aparada. Between para and aparada there is that gap has to be utilized properly between para and aparada. Then you will find the aparada that you are, that's why I said dharmic living is necessary. The aparada that you are talking about, the aparada is not an aparada. In many places in aparada, see, dharma cannot be identified by right and wrong. No. For you, you may say, oh, he has killed a person. How can it be dharma? It's maybe your talk. There is dharma in it. There may be dharma in it. So that is what Bhagavan Krishna said to Arjuna. It is dharma, what you are doing. Even to Dharmaputra, Bhagavan Krishna said, Ashwathama Hatayada, bol do, tell, no problem, to Brahmacharya. It is dharma, he said. So Yudhishthira asked that, telling lies is dharma, how can it be? He is Dharma Raja. How can it be dharma? So Bhagavan explains about the dharma. What is dharma? So dharma is connected with the establishment of the total dharma in the universe. So whoever is functioning on the side of the adharma, even though he may appear, he may be anybody, he may be anything, it is adharma, that's all. So in order to eliminate adharma, these things, what right and wrong doesn't play. Right and wrong is a relative term. Dharma, adharma is not relative term. So decision making, every moment you must make a decision. For us what happens, we make a decision once, we will not change it. Then people will also quote that Ramayana. For such people who are adamant, we call it as very adamant people, they, for their convenience, they take a decision and they will quote Ramayana. What is Ramayana said? I'm just trying to get that stroke. It's very common, sometimes I forget these things. whatever happens, the word spoken will not be changed. No. प्राण जाए वचन न जाए. रघुकुल रीत सदा चले आए, प्राण जाए वचन न जाए. Vachan, once told, will not know. Vachan. That is not the dharma. It has to be changed at that time. It has to be changed. प्राण तो जाएगा ही. Anyway, vachan na jaye. They will quote, but there is a meaning in. Don't think I am just criticizing that word. That word is absolutely right. Why? Because Raghukula has got a. Now many people may misunderstand me quoting this. I am telling that people misunderstand this word, and they, for their safety of doing wrong things, they quote this. That once I have told something, it is like in Ramayana. Pran jaye, vachan na jaye. So in some cases pran will go, some cases vachan has to be changed. What did I say in between? Yes. So this conveniently people putting. Now this word should not be misunderstood. This is not wrong. In the Ramayana, in this stage of Ramayana, what is said? Raghukula Reet Sada Chali Aaye. The Reeti of Raghukula has always been Sada Chali Aaye. For always it has been like that from the ancient times. That Pran Jaye, Vachan Na Jaye. But it is not only a Vani, it has come from their mouth like the ordinary person. Before speaking, he has thought for 100 years, then he spoke. That vachan will not go. That's what he means by that. Vachan na jaye. When a promise is given, when a word is given, vachan na jaye. That means it is like that. Then it is okay. That is for dharma. That Bhagavan Krishna also told, Hey Duryodhana, if you don't listen to my advice, ultimately what is going to happen, you know that. Bhishma told Duryodhana that, look, you are not going to win this war. Finished. Whatever preparation you do, you do. You are not going to win. He has told that. They all knew it. This was a known fact before the war is done. Then why the war is done? It is necessary. Again, it was dharma. Unless that is done, the adharma could not have been eliminated. So, anyway, that's a big story. When we go to Mahabharata, it will never end. It will keep on going from one link to the other link. It's beautiful again. So, decision making is every moment's time. Every moment you should be making a decision. Not that once you common generalized dictionary bana diya. These are all decisions I have made in my life. I will not change. Decisions made are supposed to be changed. There is a word also. No? The one who has made a decision is supposed to be changed. It's meant for suiting the karma. So decision making has to be done. That means parapara vidya has to be known. Para-aparadha vidya. See, the word itself is that, you see. I don't want to continue that, otherwise we will lose this. Aparadha, what is the meaning of aparadha? Adhina to apara is aparadha. Adhina to that which is not self. Adhina to apara, that for something else or someone else. Apara adhina is aparadha. To be in something else is called aparadha. That's why mistake is the right meaning, you see. Apara adhina, mistake. Aparadha, exactly. The literary translation for once the Englishman has made. Apara adhinam, aparadham. So it is apara adhinam. is aparadam. He, the man who has told, appears to be dependent on something else, is my conclusion. Is why I classified it as aparada. Whereas, is it aparada or not? Is it aparada? That's why para aparade. So, in the status of para, whether it is apara adhina, whether that para is in the apara adhina or not, has to be known by me. Then only I can say whether it is aparada or adhina. No? Then the aparada's meaning of aparada will change. It is no more aparada, we'll say, oh, I thought he made a mistake, but he has done a wonderful job. We also say that, like an ignorant person. I thought it was a mistake. That means you keep on thinking whatever you want, and then afterwards you say, oh, I thought. There's no thinking at all. Selfless function. Selfless, of course, we know that. Selfless function, the identity of the self. When the selfishness comes, then only we do mistakes. When I want to derive a result out of it, when I want to derive a benefit out of it, when I want to derive something out of it, whatever it is, results, benefit, whatever it is, you call it. When I want to derive something out of it, then only the mistake takes place. Selfishness, though. Selfless services means non-expectation of any results out of it. That's all. Again, Bhagavad Gita has told about that. Do karma without expectation of any results. That's what selfless service. If these are three very big principles, even though we're told in three small sentences, very high principles. Unless a man who had total samarpana and upasana and nityaasana, one cannot achieve these qualities. It's not possible. Practicing has to be done. Well, your intention should be that. That's what I said. Why did I say all this? No, the word intention came. I think somewhere I spoke. So from there all these things came. Intention. When the intentions are good, we are disconnected from the intentions are right. We are disconnected from the externalities. The intention should be good. That should be with you. So the objective intentions will always produce the objective results, that's all. Nobody says don't do it. Do it, no problem. But you will have that result only. You do that and expect an Atma Sakshatkaram, that you will not have. You want to achieve that, humko wo chahiye, kyun nahi hota hai. You will keep on asking the same question throughout lifetime. You won't have any satisfaction inside you. The realization whether I need it or not. What is that need for me? When that comes, the list will become very less. That's why the old system, old people, not old system, the Upanishad himself, they have told, in case the people who are unable to find out what should I do, then think the reverse, the other way around. What I should not do. No? Whether I should do this or not, now I am confused what to do. Now let us say what to do. What I should not do. Should I do that, buy a woolen cap and wear it when in summer? No. In summer, woolen cap doesn't suit, so woolen cap should not be worn. So strike off. Should I do this? No, that doesn't suit. Strike it off. What is that? Keep on doing it. You know what you are supposed to do. Neti. Beautiful system. The people who cannot understand what is to be done, naiti, do that striking of what is not necessary, then you will find what is necessary. Whatever left is necessary. These are all why I am talking about these things. Qualities of Jeevan Mukta. How will you know this quality in a man who is sitting in front of you? Can you identify? Can you identify Jeevan Mukta? What is happening inside him? What decision he is making? How he is making decisions? Not the way We are making decisions. Because he's inner. That's why he said, that what reflects in the eye. What's reflecting in the eye? In his eye, this is dharma. Because he knows that is dharma. Why? Because he is not involved. When his sharira, his mana, his desire, his indriyas are not involved in it, that what he sees is dharma. That what he sees is right. That what he sees is absolute. You see, it's a gist of it. I mean, capsule, when you put the whole thing into the capsule, this is how it will look like. So, modern times perhaps, even one more thing I want to tell you. See, you must have seen me praying. I do like this first. What is this actually? In Vedas, in Rig Veda, it has been mentioned, Upanishad also mentions this. There's a shloka in that. Sarva Samapti Upanishad, Sarva Samapti Meshishyatva Adharam Prakriyam. That means when you touch this, that I remain the disciple of you always. The first prayer is that let me be the disciple. Let me be the disciple always. Shishya, disciple always. The student, samarpanam. Why? This is where we bow. That's why the bowing comes from that. This is equivalent to that. So that I am in a position to identify the absolute consciousness and surrender to it at all times and be with the consciousness. So that my jnanam that I am executing here at this time, at all times, be based on the true disciple. Why it should be disciple in order to have the jnanam? So that I don't get the ahankara of the jnani. The disciple getting jnanam. Even after getting jnanam, I am again disciple only. Constantly I am sarvada sarvasya shishyatva. Constantly I am the disciple, so that I don't get the ahankara of the jnana. But whereas I am in the consciousness, once I am in the consciousness, the identity of the jnani or the disciple is no more there. So with that status, let me project that knowledge through this into the function of this sharira and mana for the purpose of execution of karmas, so that I am always connected in the status of the Jeevan mukta. Even though the function is projected from here, I am connected with the Jeevan mukta. This I am always there, but this is projected. In which manner? In the manner in which I take that, you must have noticed, I take that, I bring myself from that level of highest consciousness for the purpose of ekagra chittam, with oneness, not only chittam, with ekam, with eka, so that whatever from my heart, that means emotions, whatever from my attachment, whatever from my emotions, whatever from my heart, that is being distributed should be eka. Studies, teaching. The teaching should be only that one only. And to every antaratma, antakarana, sharira, indriyam, samarpito bhava. Om aham sarvasvam. What is all this? Why did I say this? You will not otherwise. Now it's an apt right time to make you understand, because we are doing that chapter, So you will earlier probably you won't get the complete the feel of it. See, today you can have the feel of it. Is why it is there. So every purpose, every action, every purpose. What happens? So every moment we are with the consciousness. I am with the Brahman. Every moment. So is that firmness, the oneness. So various mudras for that expression of that presence of the consciousness. So then Okay, now, but the wisdom lies not in merely saying that there are no problems. There were problems even for those people. We should find ourselves the proper place. In each one, he must understand what is the context in which he is placed in the background of the aspiration, what he entertains in his mind, and what are his problems. So, neti, level of neti. So the person who is the one who is Jeevan Mukta, for him the list is not necessary, neti is not necessary. Why? Because his attention is only on that. When the consciousness of the Sharira and Mana is there, then only the desires which are not necessary for us comes to us. We are told that, I just read this one because this I don't, he has, Maharishi has his own opinion, so I must tell his opinion to you. We are told this is an example. No? We are told that the great Ramatirtha had a peculiar technique of his own self-control. Oh, this is the same thing. He used to make a list of all his desires. It was no joke. It was an honest investigation into his own mind. To some extent, we can know that what our desires are. Go to the scheduled place or sit in your own room or sit behind a temple or in a forest. Think what your desires are. No, here it is different. It's not neti. Think what your desires are. No, okay. Unable to do it, so think what are my desires. Okay. I want to have one tail from the elephants, this one, and tie it on my finger, like that. What I do. Desire. From where to look for the elephant. You see, in the Bihar, elephant is nowadays not good, highly politicized. So we have to go to which elephant you want. All the desires listed in the mind. Don't just say I don't have any desire. We have desires. So you can say, I do not know anything, you do not know something. But it is the persistent thoughts in the mind that are your desires. When you are free from the distraction of daily functions of your life, your real desires will manifest themselves. These desires have to be dealt with in a proper manner. This is the discipline called for. The discipline or Brahmacharyutam, which this is experience of Ramatirtha's principle. Upanishad speaks of in disciple of dealing with the desires. What are you going to do with your desires? Are you going to just swallow them or oppose them or crush them or fulfill them? You cannot answer this question easily. It's true, we cannot. It's not possible. This is the reason why a super person's guidance is necessary. These desires are like snakes, he says. You cannot touch them and you cannot keep them. Lying in a corner, you cannot do anything with that. But you cannot keep quiet also. You know very well the nature of the snake. So a very dexterous method has to be employed. Neither subjugating, nor crushing, nor fulfilling, in the literal sense, but tackling them in the manner they should be tackled under the circumstances in which you are placed. Considering the strength or weakness of the mind, the consequences also of your actions, this is the discipline. So many factors have to be considered. All this an individual cannot be done. Therefore, a guru is necessary. Ramatirtha is done. This is the words from the Ramatirtha, example from the Ramatirtha. Ramatirtha has written somewhere that these desires will not leave you unless you get into the true sannyasa status. Get into the true Atma Sakshatkaram status, true Brahma Sakshatkaram status. Till then, these desires will keep coming to you, keep chasing you, keep bothering you, keep pleasing you, keep disturbing you, keep distorting you, keep dividing you. Anything can be done by them. So in order to control them, because their nature is that. The nature of the desire is only to bother you. See, it is only bothering you. Even if you are fulfilling, it is a botheration. We also say, no, certain things we do, chalo, somehow I have done it and finished it. You have fulfilled it, no, but with the hatred you have fulfilled it, you see. Desire is like that only. Somehow I do, chalo, ho gaya, khatam. Oh, God's grace. God has not done anything, God has not desired. Guru's requirement also comes from now, words in 2-3 places he has mentioned very vehemently, where we alone cannot travel after, a normal person, unless one goes under the great strict discipline of sannyasa. That means a grihastha, as I told you last time, a grihastha also has to undergo the status of sannyasa. Then only you will be in a position to guide your grihastha Jeevan in the right manner. That's why Brahmacharya is before grihastha. The status of Brahmacharya is before grihastha, so that a true Brahmachari only can lead. See how wonderful it is. A true Brahmachari can only lead a true grihastha ashram. Imagine a person who is having a self-control, leading a grihastha ashram. Imagine this. How perfect it would be, everything, Not with a disciplinary, with a cane, no. Just by the routine function. How beautiful it would be. Everything, how smoothly it will run. The principle is that everything will function. Everything will function as he thinks. But he has to be a brahmachari. The brahmacharyatva, the Brahma acharanam has to be there. When the Brahma acharanam is there, grihastha is a small part of the realization of the Atma Sakshatkaram, Brahma Sakshatkaram. Grihastha ashrama is also a part of Atma Sakshatkaram. It's not separate. For many of the Jivatmas, for some it is not necessary, they become sannyasis by birth. That's a different thing. But many people, they have to go through grihastha ashram. So for a grihastha ashrami, these disciplines have been specified. So if he is a brahmachari, that's why in the Vedic school, when you are 3 years old, 4 years old, you are sent to the Vedic school, where you are teaching the principles of the high. At the age of 3 and 4, you are learning, even though you are learning the chanting of the Vedic sutras, you are learning high principle into the system, And those principles start functioning in you. These are not words spoken. Such words which are spoken goes into the mind and be there in your memory. That itself will create vibrations and starts functioning, Because its vibrations are so high, so your system perceives that vibrations, and automatically the multiplication of the cells that is taking place will be having an impact of those vibrations that is there in you. So it automatically, you understood what I mean. That is why these are all necessary. They say, no, arey, jaake suno to sahi. It's not false, we think that what is this grandmother telling? What is this grandfather telling? I don't understand anything. What is that man talking? Suno, jaake. Bas, that's all your job. Just do it. What's the reason? This is the reason why. There's a visible example as far as, forget about the books I know, of course we all read it also, you also know it. But an example, I have a personal experience in that, where I used to take this Upanishad class, I am taking, conducting, which is already published in the YouTube. Somebody who is sitting in, I think I have told you already, somebody who is sitting in Middle East, we have never met, I have never met a lady. She got a no, naturally she must be practicing some of these things, reading some of these books and all that. She got attracted to this, and she found it is wonderful listening. Constantly she started listening, and she used to sometimes ask for queries and some doubts and things like that. Sometimes some appreciation. Things like that went on. One day there was a beautiful message, a long message. It seems she is listening to the Upanishad, my Upanishad class, just adjacent or in the same hall where her son is doing that treadmill. He does the treadmill in the evening, probably evening or morning, I don't know. That also I don't know. So she is listening it. He is not bothered, and that young man, he says, I don't believe in any of these things. No, he has categorically told. And what are you doing, mother, sitting and listening to all this? They're all bogus. Nothing happens. He doesn't know what she is listening. He just made a comment because he doesn't like those pandits and then pujaris and things like that. Maybe that's what he means, probably, quite possible. I don't know. He said, I don't believe it. But what happened? Every day, the same timing, she listened because they had probably the free time. She is listening to Upanishad class and he is doing the treadmill. After about two months or 3 months later, she has sent me a message saying that my surprising miracle happened. Is the heading. What happened? The boy who was totally against all these things, he stopped jogging that and started listening and said that, Ma, it is absolutely true and it is wonderful. I would listen to that also. From that day onwards, he started listening to it. Great devotion has been done on that, and he wanted to listen all the previous ones and went back and started listening, it seems. You see how it is. What happened now? He doesn't know anything about it, you see. Initially he was had an aversion towards it. Some words, what happened? 3-4 classes, the words what is spoken by me goes into his mind, the scientific principle I am talking about, creates those vibrational frequencies. Whenever those cells started developing in him and memories started developing in him, other cells started changing in him, automatically these vibrations were very much involved because they are the truth of existence. They are Prakriti, they are truth of existence, which will be there everywhere. So it is there in him also, but it was not evoked. It was not awakened, those memories. When these words have got inside, they started waking it up, you see, like the shells open up, you see. They started opening up. When it opened up, the brightness came, automatically he started liking it. And the other ways tell me how it is possible. This is why chanting or listening and these things are very automatically it happens. They say, even though subject is not known. Many people say that I didn't believe first, पहले तो हमको विश्वास नहीं था, उसके बाद में विश्वास हो गया. ये विश्वास नहीं था, उसके बाद विश्वास हो गया. How is it changed? Same person, same characteristics, same habits. How this has happened? How it happens? Vedas, that's what Vedic science is. Upanishad speaks of discipline, of dealing with the desires, he said, okay. So you know very well how this, the necessity of, why? The necessity of a person who can explain you the Brahmacharya, can show you the Brahmacharya, so that in the true sense, so that one gains out of it is called it. Section 13. Now, next section goes to exclamation of the perfected soul. Now, he considers the soul is already perfect. Okay, so we go to the perfected soul. The exclamation of the perfected soul. 13. It's a small chapter, I think. Oh, this is okay. This is only that. It's a big shloka. Tadvaitad Brahma Prajapataya Uvacha Prajapatir Manave Manu Prajabhya Acharya Kuladvedamadihyatya Yatha Vidhanam Guru Karmadishesheshani Abhisamavritya Kudumbe Shuchau Derau Swadhyaya Madhyani Dharmigadvim Dadatmani Sarvendriyani Samprabhitishthyatahi San Sarva Bhutanyatra Tirthabhyaha Sam Khalvevam Varyam Vartayanyavadayusham Brahmalokom Abhimaya Abhimam Padyade Nacha Puranavartade cha Na Punaravartade Iti Panchadasha Khanda, 15th. Panchadasha Khanda Iti Chhandogya Upanishad. Okay. Oh, this is the 15th chapter I'm talking. Am I 15th? 13th? That's what I was wondering where I have gone. 12.6. I'm sorry, I was reading. That's what I was wondering why there is a difference in that. Shama Chambalam, this 13th one is that Shama Chabalam Prabhadye Shabala Chatyayam Prabhadyetha Iva Romani Vidhuyaya Papam Chandra Iva Rahor Mukhatram Ramuchya Drutva Shariramavram Kritatma Brahmalokaabhi Asambhavamiti Abhi Sambhavamiti Iti Trayodasha Khandaha. He says Shamacha Balam Prabhadye. Shama means darkness. From the darkness I wish to attain the variegated. Shabalacha Shamam Prabhadyetha iva Romani Vidhuya. I have attained from the variegated. Then he says, I want to attain from the darkness. I wish to attain the variegated. From the variegated, I attain the darkness. Having shaken off sin like a horse shaking its hair, as the moon getting freed from the mouth of Rahu, I shall attain the uncreated world of Brahman after leaving the body and becoming successful. I shall attain. Now, after the great penance of the Jeevan mukta, identification have been done, and permanently Brahmacharya has been there, and there, that's why he said exclamation of perfected soul. Having the soul or the Atma became perfect in the sense absolutely with the Atma, the soul decides, it is said, now I want to get away from like the moon from the Rahu, or the horse shaking off his hair from the body. I would like to escape from these myths unnecessarily. I have been living in this in order for a particular cause, whatever. But when the soul is absolutely perfect, the meaning is that he decides to shirk off the body. Not body leaving the soul leaving the body. Like that, the brightness, I wish to attain the variegated from the darkness. From the darkness, I want to get rid of the darkness. He shakes off his darkness. What is the darkness here? Representing the Sharira and Mana. Into the realm of Brahman. So then what he says, then he confidently says, no, there is no question of that. What he says, what will I do? I shall reach that supreme. Declaration finished. I shall reach that supreme. From the dark blue ones, various people have, various gurus or various writers, tapasvis, jnanis, have described this particular function in few different ways. So he is quoting them actually. I would like to quote also, just to know all the meanings are same, so we don't have to get confused on that. You see. The principle, the moment I say I shall reach that supreme, moment it comes, what is that? What is the meaning of that? I shall reach that supreme is what he is trying to tell us. So he writes here, the commentators say that these words, he also mentions here, I go to, now he says, from the dark blue one, I go to the one defined one. And from the more defined one, I go to dark blue. Back, going and coming. What does this mean? Why he has to say, I shall attain the supreme is okay. But here the mantra says, I shall go to from the darkness to the dark blue, out of that defined one, and from the defined one I go to, not back, go to the dark hole, dark blue. Nobody can understand what these words mean if they are interpreted grammatically. The commentators say that these words refer to the state of supreme experience. Various commentators have different meanings to say. What are they? Let's listen. From the cause I go to the subtle, and from the subtle I go to the cause. It's beautiful, You must tell me, what is it? All of you. Now, this is one meaning. Now second, another meaning he gives. From Ishvara I go to Hiranyagarbha, and from Hiranyagarbha I go to Ishvara. Third meaning, or third person writes, another person writes, from Brahman I go to Ishvara, and from Ishvara I go to Brahman. Same, the other way around, reversing. From the universal I go to the cause thereof, and from the cause thereof I go to the universal. Is still another interpretation. All these are what? He says here, exclamations of joy of the soul that is about to enter into the ocean being. And how does it go to this tremendous experience? It shakes the body off. As he says, it shakes off the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya koshas. And the physical, the vital, the mental, intellectual and the causal bodies, all these sheets of the bodies are shed automatically. What is the meaning? Now when we say from Brahman to the Ishvara and Ishvara to Brahman, or from what is it? Cause to subtle to cause. Ishvara to Hiranyagarbha, Hiranyagarbha to Ishvara. What is that ecstasy or exclamation or ecstasy of the perfected soul? How can there be? Is there any necessity for the ecstasy of a soul? Is it necessary a joy of soul? Even though it is mentioned here, it's all exclamation of joy of soul. Exclamation, that also he mentions. It's an exclamation. It's a superlative that has been expressed. That's all. So it's only an expression that has been made, that one goes from the darkness to the variegated, or from the variegated to darkness. It is not only a word meaning. Now we have to really, this is where the Upanishadic sutras come. You cannot get it immediately. You have to take a hammer and a chisel and then slowly chisel it out so that you don't miss anything. Like a sculptor creating a sculpture from a big rock slowly and gradually that what is not necessary, he takes it out. So what is necessary comes in. Same way, you have to do the chiseling here. Now what is that? Suppose I am in the Brahman, and the Brahman, from Brahman I go to Ishvara, and from Ishvara I come back to Brahman. What is the meaning of it? Now, if one is the subtle, one goes to the cause, and if the cause, one goes to the subtle. Now, first of all, it is only a perception that from the cause the subtle is created. The subtle is already inherent in the cause. Alright? That's why the subtle comes out from the cause. Same way, Ishvara is inherent in the Brahman. So from Brahman, the Ishvaratva comes out. The one who behaves like an Ishvara with the Ishvaratva of Brahman is known as the Ishvara. No, it's an incarnation. We can call it as incarnated from the Brahman. Or when you look at it, it will look the same. Brahman and Ishvara will look at the same if you look at it. It has no differences in Ishvara and Brahman, but it has difference. Like the causal body and the subtle body, from the subtle to cause and the cause to the subtle, even though logically it is making a difference, principally principally it doesn't make any difference, because the subtle is inherent in the cause. That is why the subtle could go into the cause. The subtle is inherent with the cause is inherent with the subtle, pregnant with the subtle. Like your those what is it? Sky, what is it? Those rockets which they leave for various shuttles, you must have noticed that from each stage there are 3 or 4 stages depending upon requirement they make. From each stage they are monitoring at a particular distance, at a particular section, and at a particular speed. A particular unit has to be detached from that. It falls down into the sea. It has to be removed. The original unit which is supposed to go there has to go with the supporting. That's only for the moment. Here the purpose is that each one has got a motor. One who is carrying to the next stage. So depending upon the atmospheric pressure as well as this speed and the weight and gravital force, according to that, different motors have been designed for different areas of gravital force. Okay, this motor of function will not function in the other one. If he makes one general motor for all that, it will not take off from here. If it takes off, after certain stage of gravitational area, it will fall down. Above that, it is some other design is necessary. So what happened? Depending upon the sections of the gravity and the pressure and there are so many variants. I am not an expert. A general knowledge of it, that's all. I don't know the details. Depending upon those depends, these motors are designed. So each vehicle, that means the lowest one will take the whole thing from here to there. After that, the purpose of reaching, that means dropping him there. He has to come back. This is detached. Second one will take from one level to another level, and that is detached. And the third one is the one which can travel only in that particular non-gravital areas and things like that, can go up. That's how this is decided, so that goes up, you see. But that one, to go from here, all these are necessary, otherwise it cannot go. Right? Same way. The subtle causal body should have an inheritance of the the subtle body, subtle, so that in order to make it function in the Jivatma, the subtle has to come from the cause, so the cause has to be inherent with the subtle. So the subtle comes out, and from the subtle, from the Sukshma Sharira, then the Sthula Sharira comes. Sukshmata is more important, Sthulata will get destroyed. See, that gets, the one which is rejected will get, so the reverse process. When the Sukshma body, Sukshma Sharira comes out from the Sthula, Sthula is ejected out. When Sukshma comes to the causal, Sukshmata is ejected out like this rockets are concerned. Same way. Ultimately, what is the truth? This is the truth. All others are only a sort of a convenience in order to attain that. The same way, Brahman and the Ishvara. The Ishvaratva is that which is there from the Brahman. Brahman cannot, as it is, even though Sarvam Khalvidam Brahman. Everything is Ishvara is also Brahman only. Even though we identify it as for a functional purpose, the form and shape of the Ishvara, let me put it that way, form and shape of Ishvara is different from form and shape of the Brahman. For a particular cause, like these motors we have already told you an example. A tree cannot be stored for years together. I want to take this tree to another planet or another country, another place. I cannot carry it. But you can do it, is it not? How? You can take the seed. That's it. It's inherent there. And you go take the seed there, causal body, which is there already. The cause is that you should create the tree. For causal body, so create for creating, the seed is there. Subtle body. Take the subtle body, plant it for the cause, by the cause. Subtle will create the Stulada, and the tree has come up. And that tree, when it is not necessary, goes into the subtle. Take that subtle, goes into the cause. Same way, Ishvaratva and Brahmatva, subtle and causal, or the Hiranyagarbha and Ishvara, all these going darkness and brightness. When the brightness has come, I want to go away from the darkness, I want to shirk off the darkness, so I create brightness. The moment I create brightness, the darkness, even though is there, even though it is there, even though it is there, it is not visible because it is in the brightness. Where is the darkness? It is in the brightness. Where is the Brahman? Where is the Ishvara? It's in the Brahman. Where is the Brahman? It is in the Ishvara. A classification has been made into this. So what happens when the soul, now what is the function? What does it mean? Why should I understand all this? When the soul gets liberated, or Atma gets liberated, or the Brahman gets liberated from the function of the Jivatma, when it goes and it attains that Brahmasatchakaram and the Brahman, through the process of the Ishvaratva, one attains the Brahman. Till it loses its shape and form of Ishvaratva, even though it is Brahman, it is identified as Ishvara, and the moment the Ishvaratva in that is released and the Brahman has conceived it, it has become the Brahman. Even though both functions are same. See, as the Jivatma and Paramatma is same. The function of the Jivatma is exactly what Paramatma does. There is no difference we know, you see. The function of the Jivatma is same as the Paramatma, projecting the knowledge. But Jivatma is the one, is an instrument or which has got a different shape and form in order to feed the intellect, the Antakarana, Mana, and the Indriyas. You can say it is like a funnel. You cannot pour a liquid from big drums to a small bottle unless there is a type of funnel. A Y-piece is required, no? From a bigger dia to smaller dia. Even though it is the same material inside, yes, even though it's the same quality, the same thing, everything is same. Well, in the liquid we can say it is more and it is less. That's all. But whereas the Brahman is concerned, it is the same Brahman that is there in this Jivatma. But this Jivatma is the one, because from the bottle, from the drum, I cannot take it to the user point. Can I? From the bottle I can take it to the user point very easily. So Jivatma, just very crude example for that. Jivatma is the one which facilitates the intellect and mana and the Indriyas function based on the same knowledge and same reflection. Yes, we have discussed about that this earlier also, the reflections. So now we understand that joy is not I don't know whether we can call it as a joy. That part I still have got. It's a joy means it's only, I would feel that Swamiji has explained, put the word joy only to explain us that look, the liberation always creates joy. It was entangled with the karmas. Now the non-entanglement is the status that has been created there. When a status of non-entanglement has come, there is a joy. So it may be whether it is traveling into the Brahman and then coming back, not coming back into the Ishvara, into the Brahma, the Ishvara, the Brahma. That means in the process of the realization, Brahma Sakshatkaram, for a short, very short moment, it's always there, you see. I always explained this earlier also in different ways probably, I don't know, I have done everything earlier also. The way I have explained about walking, do you remember? In order to walk, I have to put one step forward and the step at the back, you remember this explanation? The step backward can be lifted off only when the first step is firmly put in the front. Simple exercise, because we understand it very well. Okay? Now, the duration taken from the first step placing, second step releasing, there's a time, is it not? At one time both the steps are one in front and one at back. Yes? That status is only for a short while, is it not? That is the time you have an enjoyment of the past and the future. Am I right? You are in the past and you are in the future. Am I correct? One step in the front. See, that's only a short while. By the time you realize it, you have lifted off the past is rejected. Then what happens? That foot, where is it going? Again in the forward, and again you have got an experience of that for a short while, and then you have released that short while. Ishvara, Brahma, Brahma, Ishvara. Now you understand what is it. Where is Brahma and Ishvara? Both these steps. That short while of lifting up the second foot in the forward, that experience is called, probably that is what Swamiji mentions about the joy of exclamation of the soul. It's a joy of exclamation because I can be in two states at the same time. You see, that's the joy. The first foot there, the other foot is at the back. The joy of exclamation. Both the fields experience, I am experiencing in that moment. Otherwise, it's not possible. The moment I lift it, that experience is gone. Then it's a different experience. So that joy of exclamation. So, Ishvarattva to Brahmatva, that transferring that, for a... that status is a joy, probably. That's why he has used this word. It cannot be wrong, because Swamiji has mentioned it. Swamiji mentions exclamations of the joy of the soul, he mentioned. Even though a joy in the soul is not there, technically speaking, because soul is the joy and the joy is the soul. How can there be joy in the soul? That's why I said it's only an exclamation of joy of the soul. A usage, it's a usage. Swamiji has mentioned only to make us aware. For that, this example, I found it better putting one step forward, one step at the back. So when you are in two positions, you enjoy the facility of enjoyment of this. Yes, that is the exclamation. That's why he said exclamation. Exclamation mark. Why? Because it cannot be permanent. It's only for a moment, just a momentary. So that's why joy he has mentioned. Joy is very temporary. Is why he has used joy. Exclamation is superlative to the joy. That exclamation mark. Oh my God, is it possible? Oh, soul says, is it possible? What? The joy. Why? I am in two status. Before he realizes that he is in two status, he is in one state. Always one state in the air, one foot in the air, is it not? Always one foot in the air, only one status we are realizing. See? Either in the Brahman or in the Ishwaratva. The moment the other one goes to Ishwaratva, this is in Brahman. If this goes to the Brahman, that is in the Ishwaratva. Are you getting it now? Why he has explained this? This is called that joy, the fraction of a second. It's a very short period of time. Is why, see, that's why I said each and every word, the depth of meaning in it. So you have to chisel out. Then you realize that. So he says, the one status is that I shall be free. Another status, I am free. I shall be free, I am free. I shall be free. One foot up, I am going forward, I am there. 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 When I am there, I have joy, I am going forward. When I have gone forward, I have joy that I have come forward. I am further going forward. Exclamation of joy, in whichever manner. I think this is the best example I could find to present it in a way. Okay, I shall become Krita Atma, one who has fulfilled one's purpose. There is nothing left to be done now, because that which is ultimate purpose of my efforts, endeavors in life, has been reached. I shall attain Brahmaloka, the supreme abode of the Creator. I shall reach this abode, become one with the abode, is the ultimate aim of that soul. At that point of time, it can see nothing, it can feel nothing, it can understand nothing. It just be in that. No? So comparatively later, mystics also have spoken about experience of this kind. The great saints of India, like Sant Ramdas, Tukaram, Jnaneshwar Maharaj, and in the West, mystics like Plotinus have explained this experience without using word Brahmaloka. But the experience has been explained that joy, or whatever you call it, that not anywhere but everywhere, that feeling of there's a sense, there's a feeling, there's a sensation. That's why it cannot be explained. It is somewhere which is absolutely different. How to explain that status? There are no words. Even these people did not find a word towards that. So he says in the words of Plotinus, everything is mirrored in everything else. It is as if everywhere we have got only mirrors to which individuals are compared. These are not physical mirrors, of course, kept in the space, but non-located superphysical mirrors. If at all, you can call them such, where every individual is reflected in every other individual. Mirrors. Imagine that, see. Everything is everywhere. an all-round mirror. Eh? You have seen that movie, the Bruce Lee ka, all around mirrors only, then the fight is going on. He doesn't know where is this man. Everywhere the same person. Who to fight? Like Ravana, Mayavi. You look at here, he is there. Look at there, he is there. Everywhere he is there. This is the experience of interpretation of not Ravana. They see I in everything and everything is in me. That's the ecstasy experience of interpretation of Brahmaloka. The 14th chapter is now, there are very small chapters we can take in the next. I thought I would finish today because when I went little here and there, no. It is beneficial for you? No. You have to say yes. Don't say for the sake of saying it. Then you won't have that exclamation of joy of soul. Then you will be in the back foot only. Section 14 explains about the prayer of the seeker for eternal life. Now, after reaching Brahmaloka, what is the next prayer? With so much of trouble I have reached here, Bhagavan. No more travelling. Tear off the passport and visa. I would like to be here only. Seeker for the eternal life. No going back, please. That very specifically, that's the meaning of it. And in the 15th section, parting advice. This is from the Maharshi. Parting advice to the pupil, the disciples. What the pupil should do, disciples should do. These are two small chapters. Okay. That should be over. Then the Chhandogya Upanishad is finished. Swamiji, for our convenience and studies, he took two chapters from chapter 3 and 4, which we have already learned, gone through. Shandilya Vidya and Samavarga Vidya. Shandilya Vidya and Samavarga Vidya, which are of meditation. We have already done a meditation on that, if I remember correctly. Because I see in here, I have already done meditation. You see, meditation done, CD, something has been written. Everything is mentioned, so it will be easier, and it's nice of him. I think we will go through that, those two chapters, which are, I think 10 pages each, that's all. 10 pages. And with all that, we can, even otherwise, even tomorrow, next class, we are finishing Chhandogya Upanishad as it is. Then we'll take those meditational classes for 3-4 classes, maybe there, maximum 3 or maximum 4. With that, this book will be over. Om Shanti.